Welcome back. Welcome back to another great episode of the Gentleman's Experiment. It's your favorite color in the world, brown, along with my co-host, the General, and we are here for another amazing episode. And I just want to say thank you all for subscribing. Thank you all for commenting. Thank you all for sharing the episode. It's been a long journey getting everything together, trying to get back onto the swing of things with the show. But we are here, we're ready, and our plan is to just record a couple of episodes and then release everything at the same time as opposed to doing it how we are doing. So that's why we are a little delayed if you're checking it out now. But before we begin, I just gotta ask, what's going on, good sir? How you doing? How's life been?
I can't complain, brother. Life is real good. Close to seeing my 36th birthday. We're just a couple weeks away. I can't believe it, man. Never thought I'd be, let alone get to 35, but going past that age, I'm just like, I think it's downhill now, if you ask me. It's just pushing it, bro. I'm just pushing it.
Yeah.
But everything's well, brother. I can't, no complaints over here. Just having a great week with my son. Join him for the week that I have him. A little extended time before school starts back up, And hey, man, just working, That's about and vacationing.
Okay, okay. So
Vacation.
you mentioned the birthday.
Mm-hmm.
What's the plans for the birthday?
Birthday.
You got a lot going on right now, my brother.
Yeah.
Not to get too specific, but you got a lot going on.
Yeah, I'm not doing too much. Or I am. My lady just booked us a trip last night. Going out to Miami. A week after my birthday. My birthday lands on a Wednesday this year, so it's kind of weird. So we're gonna go a few days down there, and I'm gonna do a nice little dinner before we get up out of here. Friends and family. Well, I ain't want nothing too big. 36 is like, I don't know. I'm happy to see it because I'm alive, but also it's like, it's downhill from here, So,
Bro, it ain't downhill, man. It's just
bro.
beginning, bro.
As
As
you
someone
say
who
so.
just had a birthday, I say, 36 is a good year. 36 is still a good year. At least you're not like 39. Like, I feel like when I turn 39, I'm gonna be depressed for a little bit. That's like 40. That's like I think 40 is officially you an old mofo now. Like, like you shouldn't be. If you caught in the nightclub and you 40, I don't know. I just got questions. I got questions about where you are in your life.
Yeah.
I mean, not to say you shouldn't be in the club, but if you are consistently, if you are
Consistent, there you go. Say that, yeah. You
in the
consistent.
club and it's 40, you 40. I don't know. I just want to know why you make the decisions that you make.
Like you got to reevaluate your life, my brother. You got to do some things over.
You should be somewhere invested.
Do you think we feel that way because of the simple fact that we were the ones clowning the old heads when they was just being in the club with us?
I do, because
and now we're the old heads.
Yo, seriously, you always can spot an old head out.
Yeah.
Because they got the sandals on. They got the sandals. they got the brown sandals on. They got on a linen suit. That's like a pastel blue color.
Yeah.
And they got a drink and they danced and they singing a drink, but they don't really know the words.
Nope.
Those dudes that I don't want to be that dude in the club. I don't know. You could just tell. You could tell.
And you could tell now it makes sense when they was the ones in the club and you watching them and they didn't really know the words. Well, I'm the same way now because I don't listen to none of these duck ass niggas. So if they played in the club, I'm like, oh like we officially those guys now. Like that's not cool to me.
We are.
Granted, I don't go to the club, but still.
You gotta be careful how matched you are. you can't wear a whole Adidas outfit with all the Adidas big lettering on. Like that's all the same color. Like we at that age, man. You gotta be careful,
bro.
How matched you are. You can't be too matched.
That's why I read through That's why I go through magazines still, man, just to try to keep my skills up here and there, bro. So yeah, man, it's
I just let my wife do it, yo. I don't even. I just let my wife do
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
Though.
that too.
I let her dress
You're
me
right.
down.
You're right. Because when you are now, one thing I do notice is when you are in a relationship, and I think this is my first relationship where you kind of like, what you want me to wear, or like you want me to match you today, or try to be on the same color coordinate,
Yeah.
contrast with you today, type thing. Because I'm be honest with you, bro. I be feeling lazy as shit. Yeah, I don't even want to dress
Yeah.
up no more. Like it's like unless we going out to an outing, like I'm a real dressy dresser. I like suits and stuff. That one I
Yeah.
get excited for. But just to go outside, grab dinner, or go out and hang out with friends, I'd rather throw some sweats, some stuff, bro. And I s-
Yeah.
I try to practice what I preach. And how am I gonna be the one out here telling them off? Stay on your grind, never get comfortable. So that's only the reason that keeps me going, as far as having to throw some good clothing on when it's time to go out. But how many time we want to just go throw some basketball shorts on and a t-shirt, this can go
Yeah.
well. But we
But
can't.
I think that's a good thing. I think we're at that age now where we don't have to dress up like that. Or even though it's I'm not saying don't dress up if we this age. No, I'm not saying. But I'm saying is we don't. It doesn't need to be a staple as much as it was when we were in our
Yeah.
20s, where you had to have all the flyers get, drip, and all that stuff.
Yep.
I think now, in this age and stage, women are really only attracted to a handful of things. That's you gotta have a stable job. You gotta you gotta at least be able
Provide.
to have some type of intelligence. Yeah, you gotta like maybe if you got three or four staples, and how you dress isn't included in that, in my opinion, at this age and this stage of the game.
I think it's included.
You think so? You think you gotta have the same type of swaggy dress as now as he was in college?
No, no, you gotta be decked out, but at the same time, I think women still at this age in 30s. It's not like we're in our 50s. They definitely look for style. I mean, we still talking about we are still in that day and age where style is very still big, and these women they ain't giving up on their game. I think they get better with time. So they definitely look for someone that could complement their style. Oh, for sure, I definitely think so. Cause I mean, ain't no
All
way in
right,
the
so
world
let
I'm
me
picking
ask
up
you
a
this.
bad chick that I done dated in my past, or me just throwing some sweats on or some t-shirt. Nah.
All right, so what about now though? Do you think if you just had on just some regular sweats and then you were single
Uh huh.
and you met a girl, I think I okay. No, I'm not even gonna ask you that question.
No, go
I'm gonna
ahead.
say this. I feel like in this age and stage of the game, I could wear sweats and shoes and the t-shirt, or I could be dressed up in the same, not the same, but like in a suit of some sort, and I could still have the same effect because I just feel like women when they're a little bit mature, they don't look at the physical like that. Like you could, for instance, how many women do you know at this age and stage of their lives will date a guy with a dad bod
A lot.
versus dating a guy with a dad bod when they was in their 20s?
Oh yeah, a lot more. A lot more, hands down.
Women are more accepting of the physical
Yes.
stuff, in my opinion, right
Yes.
now because they care about stuff that you can't touch. They care about like I guess the
Celebrity.
personality and the success factor and the drive and they care about a lot of different things. So that's why I only say what I say.
Yeah, and that's
But that leads me. Oh, go.
and that's true. Especially where we are now is, like you said, women they're rather the personality stuff like that, and which is very important, very very important. But like you were saying, I think you were about to say, do you think you could still bag something if you had on some sweats or whatever the case may be? At this
Yeah,
point, of course, hands down, I have. Of course you
exactly.
can, but we all know presentation is key. So I feel as though,
It's
and
easier.
there you go.
It's easier.
In my head, I'm thinking, I would leave a better lasting impression on this woman if I was suited and booted or dressed to impress rather than some sweats. And
hmm
not to say that, like I said, I can't bag her, but I think it just get her much more. I have a more of her attention there. So, so
You gonna leave more of a lasting impression. Definitely,
yeah.
absolutely, hands down. But yeah, I just think women are more accepting of it. But yeah, but let's get to the topic because the women want to know, and I think some people are gonna ask, why is Brown asking this question? Why is General Brown asking this question? It's pretty obvious why men love it like we love it. But I think, and I know there's this concept or this trend with me that there's a lot of a difference in your 20s versus your 30s. But I think this is more so true when it comes to sex. So the question is, or the experimental question is this: how important is sex to a mature man, a gentleman? How important is sex? Um, I'm gonna just start off real simple because I know you got a lot to say about this. But I'm gonna say it's not as important as it was. Like sex now isn't as important to me as it was when I was 30. It's not definitely not as important to me as it was when I was 25. It's important. It's extremely important,
Yeah.
but it's not on that high end of the extreme spectrum.
Yeah.
I think as we get older, we appreciate more of the woman or what more the woman has to offer besides her body. Don't get me wrong, the body is very, 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 very much still
Yes,
important.
sir. Yes, sir.
However, it's not as important. And I think women will notice that in a mature man. They'll notice that they're not as driven by sex. Because women, let's keep it real, women will use their sexual prowess as a weapon to manipulate and take advantage and get their way. But that becomes harder and harder, I think, as the male becomes more mature and has more control over his, I guess, sensations, if for lack of better
So, yeah,
terms.
yeah.
But what do you think, my good sir?
I think it's sad that I'm saying this. It's like you say.
I know, right?
It's you know what?
I had to come to terms with that. That's why I said we should talk about this because I was like, yo, I'm good. Like I
Bro,
don't really
bro, when I
like I
tell you,
remember needing like all the time, but
I
like now it's just like I'm
you
good.
you remember how we were, bro. You remember how it was.
I know.
If you would have asked me this question about I want to say 2 to 3 years ago, I still would have been sticking to my
Yeah,
same thing as I used to say in my 20s.
yeah,
Like if the question would be,
yeah.
how many times a week do you need to have sex within a relationship? I'm like,
Hmm.
man, to me, about 5, 6 times. You know what I mean? Just give me one day, I'm good. I could bounce back, player. But
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But now that I'm in 35, about pushing 36, man, I wasn't blaming on testosterone. I think it's really what you just said. It's about
Hmm.
you being much more mature and, and respecting the space that's created by the woman that you're with.
Hmm.
Her allowing her just being her. You are much more infatuated with her being her, if that makes any sense. As far as just spending that time and having that energy around you, whereas like I don't even really think about sex. You just admire. You ever admire a picture so well you didn't even want to touch it or purchase it. You just admire like this is something so beautiful that I don't even have to buy it. I could just admire it from a distance, and that's how it is sometimes with me. It's more so like I'm just happy. You know what I'm saying? That I'm I'm comfortable here. I'm comfortable just looking at it and saying and just having it around and call it my own, in case may be. But
Hmm.
I don't know where that hungerness went to, and this is what older folks used to tell us. Like this, it's going to slow down for you one day, and and niggas
Yeah, yo,
and niggas know me. I used to be a wild boy, so I would just what I mean.
yeah,
So it's
yeah,
just like it's like
yeah.
when I swear to God, well, when I'm at work or just around, hanging out with you guys, or the case, this is my free time, my spare time. I'm just sitting there thinking, I think about where I used to be and where I am now, and I do it quite often, very quite often. And I sit down and be like, damn, bro, I don't even be craving sex like that no more.
Hmm.
I see a beautiful woman now. Like if I see them at work or something,
Hmm.
or just out and about stores, you just admire the beauty, and you just be like, she's beautiful. Before it used to be like, oh, I gotta fuck her. I gotta bag that so I can just knock this down. Now it's to the point where it's just like, wow, that's God's gift right there. And you just satisfied with that. Yeah. You just satisfied with that. I don't even gotta go try to run down on it. Be like, oh, I want to bust his neck. Man, you know how many times the bad thing is, you know how many times I say to my shorty, I'm gonna tear that ass up tonight. Talking mad shit daily. Daily.
Yeah.
You can ask her this shit. Yeah. Bro, I don't touch it about 4 or 5 days later. Yeah. Bro, it's not saying that that's anything towards her or our sexual life, which is great. But the thing is, it's just like you don't have that same energy to chase pussy like that. I mean, to chase, sex like that. So to answer the question, it's maturity, and it's more so. I don't want to say it's a change of the body, because don't get it wrong, like niggas still get it up. That's no issue. Yeah. We still put it down, and it's like we don't have it's not like we lost this sense of I want to just do something. It's just that it's more control now. It's more control now. So it's just like, all right, whatever. You know what I mean? Like I'm not.
So let's dig into that. Let's dig into that, because what is it that we have to control exactly? Because I think that women are not going to fully understand that instinctual necessity to want to put your male member in something that is amazing.
It's very amazing.
Like there is and I don't even know if I have the vocabulary to put it into words, but there is just a sensation, that a drive, an urge that has to be controlled. It has to be, and it's not easy to control. And nobody taught me how to control it. I had to figure that shit out on my own.
Sure.
And I think this is, hold up. Let's bring it back. This is a very valuable conversation. Yeah. So, fellas, please pay attention to this. No one taught me how to control it. I had to figure that out on my own. But once you figure out how to control, and I think everyone has to figure it out on their own. I'm not saying somebody can teach you. I think that I wish I had the idea of someone saying, "Yeah, you're gonna need to control it. That's the only way. Yeah. This is never gonna go away."
Yeah.
But I think I needed that versus just trying to whatever process that I went through. But long story short is, you got to control that beast. There is a beast that needs to be controlled, and you got to figure out how to control it. And that's why I say one of my favorite quotes is, "Know thyself." Know what your triggers are.
Yes, sir.
Like, for instance, sometimes I gotta delete TikTok. I gotta delete Instagram, because I remember when I got to a certain point with TikTok, every thing I would scroll by was a woman with a fat ass and some very, 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 very perfect breast. I'm not a titty guy. I'm like, this is like, this is
you a hater, nigga. Like, you a hater. That's why. You a hater. That's why.
You know I like assholes.
Yeah, titties all day. Go ahead.
That's all. That's all you were seeing. That's all you were seeing. Yeah. And it's like, yo, come on. So anyway, long story short, what I'm really trying to say is, it's that you got to control it. You got to control it.
Yeah, and it's something that we all have within us. I don't think we need to control it in our early 20s. Only time I think you do need to control it in your 20s is if you're wilding out. Yeah, not only that, if you don't want to have a long-lasting effect of trying to settle down and you cannot be faithful. Because if you wilding out in your 20s from time you enter college all the way till you hit 30 or 31, you just smash. There's going to be some lasting effects and withdrawals that you're going to have at the end when you're trying to really settle down. I don't care what you say. That is a cold hard fact. That used to be me.
Ooh.
You cannot.
The withdrawals?
Withdrawals, yes. That is a drug. Sex
that's a great word.
Sex is, you could be addicted. Simple as that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's a part. So So the answer to the question, like I said, was yes, you can control it, and I do recommend that you do. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to touch everything that you see. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I think it's just I think we have when I hit the where we peak where we are now. It's much more. Our bodies are much more. Well, our bodies are maturing, not only maturing mentally, but maturing physically, to the point where I think what also changes us and make us want to settle down is the fact that you see your body changing, internally. You don't feel the same way that you once used to anymore.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? And you like the bones, the aches, and all this type of shit. I feel like I could just bounce up out of bed. You know what I'm saying? So you go through that internal battle with yourself, like, damn, am I really the man anymore? Or like, am I really that old? like this is trash. Like, this is nah. This is what they talk about when they tell you need to settle down with someone to take care of you. No, I'm not saying I'm falling apart, but we do feel a difference between our 20s and our 30s. And it do start to, especially if you were an active person before in your early years, you start to think long term. You start to think, ahead of you instead of thinking in the moment how you used to think. Everything you should, man, just live in the moment right now. YOLO. You know, man, shit. Right now, nah, bro. Nah, not no more. Nah.
Yeah, yeah. I'm sorry, not to harp on it, but I really like the fact that you use going through withdrawal because, I mean, even from like a biological perspective, like when you have sex, or when you're doing things that please you, it activates the same brain center. So,
Yes.
and you can get addicted to that feeling because it's almost virtually the same as cocaine because it's activating the same brain center. So, and sugar is also activating the same brain center. So all of that is like really like you can get addicted to that. So yeah, that's a really good point, and that's also to further explain why there's an urge like when imagine being 16 to 18, just that that urge and the best way I could describe it is you just want to literally put it in
Anything.
the prettiest. It don't have to be pretty. It just got
Be
to
decent
be a
enough. Yeah,
vagina.
it's got to be decent enough. If you got
Yeah.
standards.
You just want to put it in,
Yes.
and it's like that, and that feeling of, and I'm not even trying to be funny, but like you really just want to, like you just want to stick it in.
You just do. You just
it's
do.
like,
And it's like
and you can't explain.
it's almost like a dog. I'm sure everyone has seen a dog where they don't care who's around. If they got that urge, they just start humping on anything, like a toy or a pillow or whatever the case may be. That's how it is for us. So when you say, why do you think we got the term, yo, you a dog? That's literally what it is. That's literally what it is. You are a dog. Like, that's how you feel. Like, you just gotta hunch on something. You just want to hunch. And that's simple, man. And so I understand. I think it's hard for women to understand the urges and cravings, and they be like, "Oh, we got urges and cravings too." Yeah, you do, but how many times? I don't know how many times a woman's gonna, a sex therapist is gonna tell you, or a medical doctor will tell you, our sperm counts is so much higher than a woman, as far as your hormones. Our hormones are 400 times higher. Okay, so it is much more difficult for us to hone in on things and control it, or just be like, oh, I could do without sex today. That's why you see so many women saying, oh, I don't need no nigga. I'm fuck nigga free. Fuck nigga free. Yeah. You don't hear no nigga saying we bitch nigga free. We bitch nigga. No, sir. Nah, we gonna always be, you know what I'm saying? And I don't think that never go anywhere. So.
Because sometimes we're not even in our right minds because we just have that urge. Like I feel so bad for the dudes right now that are 16, 15, 16, like that whole teenager to like early 20. Like I feel bad for y'all because the stuff that y'all are seeing, the asses that y'all seeing, the titties that y'all seeing, the ease of access to porn, like having to control myself in this type of social media environment and internet environment. I don't know how y'all doing it, fellas.
Bro, I remember
the best advice that I could say is try to control yourself as much as possible.
Bro, I remember, porn is so easy to access now. It's ridiculous. I remember the days when we used to have them TVs where you used to turn to HBO, and if you didn't have it, it should be like the squiggly little red and black, all the different color lines, and you still can see some type of form of fucking. And you used to be sitting there, you be like, oh shit. You be like, yo, them titties big as hell. Like you be watching that, like
that's a nipple.
I think that's it. You try to make out with the picture. It was that bad back then, but now man, I can go on the internet and. And
literally,
it's no need, bro. It's literally totally it's night and day. It's night and day, you know. So,
I feel bad for y'all. Yo, parents, if you have a son that's a teenager, yo, just talk to them about having that self control because it does take willpower, it does take self control, and it does take practice. I'm sorry, it take practice. You need to say no to a woman a couple of times to get used to it. Like,
bro, let me tell you,
it was hard for me to say no. It was hard for me to turn it down.
Yes, it was. It's very hard. Yeah, I used to do that on purpose. Like I'll tease somebody, I'll tease them just on purpose, just to have them, be like, yo, you know, have them make me say, pull up, Deshaun, like come through, this and that, and I'll do it sometime on purpose just to test myself. And this was part of my withdrawal. So I'm just like, nah, I can't come. Nah, I can't come today. I can't come today. And then only fucking for a day later to be like, all right, I'm pulling up. Type shit, you know what I mean? But it was just that, it was little baby steps. It was little baby steps of just, trying to get to where you wanted to be at, what you had to do. So you say no one day, and then you go a day, then you go 2 days. Then, so it was that swing. So you have to play those mental games sometimes. No, not sometimes. Most of the time, if you're going through that situation, to either to get out of the mud. So it's perfect that you brought that up. Like you do test yourself sometimes, and sometimes I be wanting to test myself too. I'm like, I wonder if I still got it. Done it yet? But I thought about it sometimes. Whereas like you do see a beautiful young lady out. Let me just pull up on it, just see what she said. I'm not gonna touch it. I'm not gonna. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And you be like, I think I still got it probably. Let me do it. But then something back in your head be like, man, it ain't worth it. You be tired of shit. I'm like, man, get the fuck out of here. I don't think you're worth it. But if I am talking to someone that happened to be attractive, I would just see what they had up. But I love saying to them, and because the question is going to come, especially if they're attracted to you, is, do you have a lady? And I love saying that. Sometimes I'd like to say it before they even, like, me and my lady going out. What you doing this week? Yeah, me and my girl, we going out this week. Before, in other relationships, you was never saying that shit. Yeah. You was never bringing that shit up. So now I'm more confident to say, yeah, me and my girl not going this week. Now you talking that other bullshit like, oh yeah, fuck yeah, girl, that's another story. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's more of being much more secure, and that wasn't always that way. When I first got into the into a relationship with my partner, it was just like I wouldn't say afraid, but I wasn't so excited to bring it up, because it was just like. You fighting old habits, because I didn't do that in my previous relationships. I was always a low-key type person, you know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying? If they ask, then I say, Yeah, that's how you know. That's how you know you maturing and you becoming a much better man.
That's how you know. That's exactly how you know.
So.
Because, like I'm the same way. So I remember I could be talking to somebody. I could be talking to just somebody randomly. I don't know, on a train, at work, whatever. Mm-hmm. But I love saying my wife. Like I was like my wife. Mm-hmm. But when I was doing my dirt, when I wasn't married and I was doing my dirt and I was being you, I literally would never say I was with somebody seriously. Or I'm single. I'm single. Mm-hmm. I gotta be talking to somebody talking to a while, but I'm single.
I'm single.
But as I've matured, I love saying. I love when I can say my wife. That coming out. I just love it. That's how you know.
Yes, that's how you know you're mature, bro, and that you have moved on to bigger and better things, and I hate that mindset that we cannot have conversation with females, especially attractive females, without someone thinking that you're trying to fuck them. Like other people surrounding, not the person that you're speaking to, but other people could take it as you flirting. Like I said, I never know when I'm flirting.
Okay, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just more so of, I like to just have conversation. And I don't think that since you're in a relationship that you have to limit yourself from conversing and, of course, outside environments. You know,
That's yeah. Thank you.
you,
Disclaimer.
you know what I'm saying? So that, that's
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
that's
yeah.
more so where I'm at. But yeah, man. What's our next? What you got on? What's your next topic? I think. Hold on. Your next topic was
So that kind of was the next topic. Like, like, how do you
know
know
that you are
when a
maturing.
man? Yes,
Okay.
exactly. So how did I word it exactly? How to know if you have an emotionally mature man? So that really what I just said. That's one way. If you hear that the man is mentioning you in spaces like, and not even say my girl. No, no. If this guy says my girlfriend, because my girl is something that we say, and that could mean a whole lot of different things. We could say my girlfriend, or I'm with, or if he says I'm with you, or we're together, like we're a couple. You want to hear those type of phrases, not my boo, not wifey,
Yeah. Nah.
not yeah, like not late on my like nah, like you want to hear specific terms that he's signifying that he wants to lock you down.
Pretty much. Pretty much. And you need some not terms. I was going to say words of terms of endearment, but also something that just makes you feel comfortable in a space where you know that you feel secure. And you want security when your man utters your name. So there's a difference between saying my boo or my babe. Anybody can have a boo. You know, that's you know what I'm saying? Like that's a general term to me. I don't say my boo. I will use the word term my lady, or my girlfriend, or that's it. I don't use too many other terms because they use so loosely and they're much more common to say so. And people have taken those into other situations of the single world where it can be
What about when you
misinterpreted.
were married? How did you refer to your ex-wife
You know what?
when you were talking to somebody else?
When I was married, now I don't know. You can't count that. Fuck her. Fine.
Never mind. Never
Nah,
mind.
but I guess when things are okay and decent, shit. It was to a point we was calling each
Yeah.
other by our first names, bro. Yeah, she'd call me babe, but
Okay.
I was calling her by her first name. I wasn't really,
Yeah.
saying babe.
Oh,
But
you know when you say the first name and something ain't right.
yeah,
When they call you
man.
by your first.
Yep. And then when they start calling you by your last name, like I don't know why everybody get this term call me Vernon, like that shit sexy or something. Like, no, man, you gonna stop talking to me like that. Like the fuck who am I? Like the next chick that granted I don't have to go nowhere after this. But if next, like I told my ex one time, my ex girlfriend was like, she's called me Vernon. I'm like, yeah, what the fuck did that mean? That you stopped fucking with me? Like our shit was over? Like I asked you that some months after we split. Like what the hell is that? I just think about that because my ex wife used to say the same thing. Once we were in bad terms. But yeah, man. So maturity within a man. How do you know that you are? How do you know you are with a much more mature man? Right? Is that what was the question?
Emotionally mature man. Yeah, yeah.
Emotionally mature man. He includes you in so many things. I like to include. It's funny. Everything that I think about when I try to plan out my week, the first thing I think of, what am I going to do with my girl? What am I going to do with her? Like I like to, babe. What's your schedule like this week? Or because she plans ahead. So let me look at your calendar. You know what I'm saying? Every function that I go to, I always include her. You know what I'm saying? Let her, if she don't, you really don't want, let her exclude herself out. Because if it's a function where I really don't want, want her to go, which is very, very few, unless I'm going to hang out with the guys or coming over your house or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just say that. But for most, that's where I think that maturity is. You don't want to leave the house without your girl. That's when you know you're mature. I don't even want to leave the house without her because I enjoy her so much and her company and other people that I'm going out to hang out with, they enjoy her company and the great space and the vibes that she brings. It's to the point where I don't even want to leave without my best friend now because everything is so perfect and all is well. when he excluding you out of type of things, he's not mature. He's not all in on you basically, because nobody wants to hide something
Yeah.
that they are all in on. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm gonna say vulnerability as well. I think if a man can be vulnerable with you and feel comfortable being vulnerable with you, then I think that he is emotionally mature, and that means that he actually is feeling you. I don't know too many dudes that's going to be vulnerable, especially in this society, because women talk about men. I mean, men do it too, but women, y'all could be saying, y'all can say some hurtful stuff. Y'all could talk about he ain't this, he ain't that, he ain't got that, he ain't like all that, like all of these things that men define themselves by in a social setting. Y'all could just really cut us down. And so, if a man is being vulnerable with you, for example, I love the fact that there's one time I was just going through something so I think my mom was sick and I was going through something, and I was just very upset. I was crying, and the way my wife held me down, like I was like, yo, like she stood by my side, like she knew what to say to snap me back, like she helped me, right? And I was like, wow, like I could do this with you, but I never felt like I could do that with other people. And some of them, yes, but not. They were very few and far between. But that vulnerability, I think, and that I guess comfort of being vulnerable, I think that is indicative of a emotionally mature man.
yes, it is. Yes, it is. And vulner- I'm not really a vulnerable type guy, and that's nothing against people that are. I have been trying to be much more vulnerable because I think it brings this much stronger connection within your relationship. So
Hmm.
when I think of being vulnerable, it's not necessarily crying to my girl. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
But just sharing, just being able to share what may be bothering you or whatever the case may be.
Hmm.
Whatever's how's your day, who's the assholes you're dealing with at work or stuff like that. Because
Yeah.
I always got that mindset of how am I supposed to? I had that old school mindset like I can't be a protector and provider of the house and then bring all my shit home and unload it onto her, and now she's worried.
Hmm.
My job is to keep her from
Hmm.
worrying about anything. You know what I'm saying? That's the mindset I used to have, but
Hmm.
this is no different than me calling one of you guys up and telling you how my day was, which I never do, but I don't think anybody do
Hmm.
pretty much do. But and I think that's how people go crazy because you don't unload. How was your day? It's just simple. That's just a simple
Yeah.
conversation. How was your
Yeah.
day? What asshole did you have to deal with today? You know what I'm saying? Who's that racist ass coworker or
Hmm.
supervisor that's irking you? You know what I'm saying? These conversations that I have,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I bring it home, and I noticed that when I told her about it, you know, it made me feel much more better, and it felt like I didn't feel less of a man. That was the main thing I was worried about. Am I gonna feel less of a man?
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Or feel as though she gonna anything to work. It was none of that. It was just like it made me waking up the next morning to go and work much more easier. It wasn't
Yeah.
stressful,
Yeah.
in that type of environment where I felt like it was building up pile after pile after pile. Because at one point it was because I was keeping it in, and I talked to a few of my boys, but it just wasn't the same. And she'd be like, "Babe, what's wrong? Is everything all right?" Because you could see I was kind of weird on my face. Like most people, you wear it on your sleeve of what's maybe bothering you. But I was like, "Nah, it's all good, but no worry about it. It's nothing going on too much." So
Yeah. Yeah.
being vulnerable is very very key, and knowing that you're dealing with a mature man. So that's
Yeah.
what else you got on that?
I think I think it's great that your woman sees you being vulnerable. I think women should not only see you be, this
Macho man.
provider
Yeah.
or this object of strength,
Hmm.
but I think it's important for them to see you the opposite way too, because yo, it's to be a man. I'm finding, being a woman is difficult,
Hmm.
but being a man is difficult too. because and I say this because we have so many social pressures, and I'm not saying women don't, but the social pressures we have, I feel like if we make one mistake, like one mistake will send the domino effect, and it is every the house of cards will just be falling down.
Falling down.
And you
Anytime.
know that I think that's the one thing I worry about because we have a family to take care of. We gotta make sure income's coming in. We gotta make sure we provide, keep a house over, and you make one mistake, you're not feeding your kids. You don't have no house. Like you
Hmm.
literally, in my opinion, for the most part, I feel like a good man needs to be almost perfect,
Hmm.
almost perfect, and that is difficult
Hmm.
to always be perfect all the time. You can't ever let your hair down. You always got to have your P's and Q's.
Always.
And so that's
Always.
why I say, being a man is difficult. And I think that when a woman sees that it's difficult and she doesn't judge you if you have a moment where you might be weak or you might be depressed or you might be down. I could go to my wife and say, babe, I'm at a point where I'm depressed. Like
Yeah.
I need a day or two I need to go talk to somebody. I can say that
Hmm.
and I don't feel less of a man. And so I'm happy you said that because,
Hmm.
we do feel less of men, less of, I don't know how to say that, but we do feel less than a man
Yeah.
sometimes when we're feeling, I guess, societal pressures. And
Hmm.
so to be vulnerable with your wife, I think it's very, or your girl, I think it's important for
Hmm.
them to see it if you trust them to be vulnerable with in general.
Yeah. But being a man, it's extremely hard at times. And I know a lot of women like to think that we have it easy because we don't have periods, or we get to just walk around and just uh, be able to dominate anything, and just have this,
Hmm.
extreme power and just poke and do everything we want to. You know what I'm saying? The case may be, and as far as work careers and stuff like that, they'll always be at the top. Just some days I sit back and I sit to myself like, if I let this shit go to shit, if I just wanted to do like a woman does a lot of the time, where they say, I want to quit my job today.
Oh, you can't.
I fucking can't. I
You
can't.
can't.
And I say that with the most,
You can't.
I'm laughing, but I'm so serious. Like, how many times I'll be wanting to just go out and start my business, like the business
Oh,
plans that I got right now, but I can't do that because I have a
oh, you're
home
preaching
that I
to the
got to
choir.
pay, a mortgage I got to
Yeah,
pay for now. Like,
yeah,
maybe if I had an apartment, maybe
yeah,
I could do that, and I would just still talking to girls. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
I can't do that. And
yeah.
it's days that I just sit back like, I want to be a bitch today. Like, I don't want to be this
Hmm.
dominant force that I just got to always be, like, have this tough mentality or to be the head
Hmm.
honcho all the time. Like, it's days I really just want to decompress and just, I want to be catered to, or not even catered to. I just want to be not seen as, not seen as the head. You get what I'm saying? Like, they got to be number
Yeah,
one and to
yeah,
be
yeah.
like, I don't want to be
You
the
don't want to
provider
be.
to that. Yeah. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? Like, I just want to have one of those days where I don't have to, I won't say open the door, but I don't have to feel as though
You don't want all the
there you
responsibility.
go. I don't want all the responsibilities, what I'm
Yeah,
saying, that
I know
comes along
exactly
with,
how you feel.
running a family. Like,
Yeah,
that's just
yes, yes.
crazy to me. Like, sometimes,
It's a lot.
it start, like, I mean, it's a good and the thing, it's a good and a bad thing to have because it always keeps me on my toes, and
Mm.
every day I'm thinking of how to make extra earnings. I'm always thinking of a new business
Hmm.
plan. So I would say that's the great
Hmm.
things that it do bring, but also there's some days where I just be like, man, fuck this shit, man. Like, you go get an extra
Yeah.
job, or you go think of a master plan and you bring it back to me.
Hmm.
And how about you get
Hmm.
you get a higher position that pays much more? That goes back to with our earlier topics in a year. I don't care if she make more money than me.
Yeah,
I hope she make more money than me. You know what I'm saying? Shit. Like, I
I ain't
wouldn't be
bringing.
stressing about so much. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm one of the people, I like to
Yeah,
be ahead of
yeah.
the game. You know what I'm saying? Not saying you got to live paycheck to paycheck, but I like to know that I want to know there's extra thousands of dollars in my account after I exhausted my check. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to know
Hmm.
that there's extra funds if we decide to take a random trip. You know what I'm saying? I want to know that we have this extra money, or I'm ahead of the game if we decide to have a child. You know what I'm saying? It's all those type of things, or a death in the family, or one of the cars going. I like to think of all those type of things. You know what I'm saying? And I say a child much more so than anything because of some fact that that's a mouth you got to feed. Like you can't get around that. You know what I'm saying? That's your pride and joy right there. So I just be want to have them days, man. I don't want to be a nigga. I don't want to be a guy, man. Just let me take my responsibilities away from me, bro. Like I don't want to be that guy no more, man. Sometimes. So, but I'm glad you did bring it up because that actually just made me even feel even more better deep down inside because, you know, I know that because I'm not the only one.
Bro, I'm honest. I don't even know if I'm gonna put this part on air, but bro, I like the shit that be going on in my head. Sometimes I like, and people ask me like, "Why do you do so much?" Mm-hmm. I do. Part of it's because I'm scared. Like I'm scared.
Thank you. I'm scared. Thank you. I'm glad you said it.
Yo, I'm scared of like
being broke or losing everything. Yeah,
and
fucking up, and then they start looking at you different.
I remember what it's like. Yes, and there's somewhere there's a woman saying, "Well, you know, what about single moms? Single moms got to do all this, and they got to do everything you're doing, and they got to do everything a woman's doing." Mm-hmm. And I'm gonna say, yes, I agree.
Yeah.
The only difference is, I think there's an expectation for a man. Mm-hmm. I don't think that the world or society has that expectation for a single mom to be as responsible for the household as a man. I think the world's going to be a lot more sympathetic towards a woman than a man.
Most definitely.
Because a man has the expectation. And those expectations, societal expectations, are tough. And unless you can separate yourself from that, that's what. Listen, we could talk about that all day.
Yeah,
I don't want to get into that because that's a deep ass
conversation
right there. Yeah. That's a whole nother episode.
So, we definitely
about gentlemanhood.
Yeah,
but yeah, man, that's real talk. That's real talk, and you know, and I find I gotta talk to people. I gotta have a therapist. I got to because It's a lot of responsibility, and the way my brain works, I can't fail, man. I can't. Mm-hmm. I can't because, and this is what I wanted to say before we go. Because I have a son, and not to say anything, not to discredit my daughter, but I think because I have another male looking up to me, and he's going to look up to me because he's a male. I think I have to. That makes it a lot harder. Let's just keep it that way. And you as well. You have a son. Your son is looking at you. He's gonna one day ask himself, "What is it to be a man?" And you're gonna be his first barometer of what manhood is. And you want that barometer to be a good ass barometer.
Yeah. Yep. You sure do. And that's another thing that scares me. But like you said, we're having a conversation.
Yeah, we could talk. We gotta talk. That gotta be. I'm down. That actually should be a recorded episode. I think that would be a really good show.
Yeah.
But we're gonna take it. We're gonna end this. This was great. Ladies and gentlemen, please take the time to like and subscribe.
Please pass along.
Want to hear more?
Pass it along to so many other people.
Yes, pass it along. We plan on doing a lot more. We want to do some live shows. I have a lot of great ideas that I want to run by you, good sir, before you go. But yes, it's been another great episode of The Gentleman's Experiment. It's your favorite color in the world, brown, along with my co-host, The General. Any last words, my good sir?
Love you all. I love you all. Please subscribe, like, share, and have a blessed one. Remember, you never know what someone's going through. Be nice.
Exactly. All right, everybody. Till next time.